this video is about my experiences so far on the journey with light wireless mice. So I've been using a G703 for the past 2 years now, which I kind of wanted to make a comparison video with the G Pro X Superlight and the Finalmouse, but I just wasn't able to because the 703 right now is in my laptop bag, and I didn't want to get it. So we'll talk quickly about the Superlight because it's probably going to sell really quickly since they're very, very popular. And I just listed them on Kijiji as soon as I can after I made a decision between the 3 mice that I have with me now. So for the Superlight, the one thing that I really liked about this mouse, I think, was how beautifully it fits in the hand. I've always been scared of ambidextrous mice just because I thought that the shape of a mouse that's molded for right-handed people would be more ergonomic, it'd be easier to aim. But what I've found is that it wasn't the case. So these things you can find like literally in detail spec'd videos about, you know, the sensor that's in here, the weight, whatever. But I'll just say that the 2 things I'll complain about for this mouse is the things you would not expect. One being the cable. So I actually have not taken out the cable from here because I still used the cable, the braided cable that came with my 703. And the only thing that I really took out of this box is just the mouse and the adapter, the wireless adapter. So everything in the box, presentation, everything is beautiful. I didn't really care too much about that. Like, the only thing I really cared about was the performance and what I would get out of it. And what I found was I was able to adjust quickly to how light the mouse was. I ended up really liking the shape. I have pretty big hands. I think 17 or 18 centimeters in length from the middle fingertip to my to the base of my wrist, and it's just perfect for my style of grip. I have it palmed. I'm in a hybrid palm and claw grip, and I love the fact that my long ring finger and pinky finger are able to still sit just behind the start here of when it starts to curve off. So when I'm going into aim, and also the grooves as well, is actually just perfect. They got the shape right for me. It feels perfect. The wireless and all that kind of stuff I never had any issues with. I have spun the sensor out. That's something I want to note. The 703 and this mouse, I've spun out the sensor twice. There's no rattle with my mouse and my unit. There's never been any accidental clicks except for when I am bunny hopping. So I have jump on mouse wheel, which is very common for Counter-Strike in Valorant players, I think. And in some cases, when I am doing a mouse wheel jump, it will click mouse 3. And I know it because it'll ping. I actually have mouse 3 as my ping in Valorant. I actually really like where the side buttons are located. It's actually really just perfect to tilt your thumb instead of having to like really reach the buttons. It was awesome. So that's pretty much it. Like the way that it feels, the glide, all that stuff is it's fantastic, and the weight is super great. They've done so much to keep the quality of the mouse under control, and the thing that I've never really paid attention until I watched lots of reviews on the Finalmouse because of the quality control issues, but like the travel in the post travel, in the pre travel, everything for the buttons is like, I believe, as close to perfect as it gets. And I can't believe that these are 63 grams and they haven't honeycombed anything. So there's mods of these where they cut out the bottom and they do a bit of other weight reduction things, increase the battery life on these, and they also change the buttons to Kales, and it's fantastic. So I think, okay, for 5 minutes, the Pro Superlight is an amazing mouse, and I would have kept it if I never have held a Finalmouse in my hand ever. Only complaint again is just the cable, which is I didn't mention yet. The cable's not braided. That's so stupid. They should have braided the cable. I actually didn't mind the 703's cable being braided, and also USB-C. They have to make this USB-C. I don't know why it's still micro USB. It's so dumb. So this mouse is fantastic. Now, the Finalmouse. Presentation right out of the box when I first, because I bought this used. Note that. It was an experience. I think that grabbing the mouse out was fantastic because it really is a light mouse, especially the small. You have here this wireless dongle, which I thought was a charging pad, but it's not. It's not. I think, but no, it's not. So you take this out and you get this cable in here, and then you take this out and you have a little card in here as well as the manual. You know, people read that. And this little card here just says, you know, it's authentic. It's like Finalmouse, blah blah blah. Give them a call. It's plug and play. Awesome. Gives you, you know, recommended distance from the sensor. From the mouse to the wireless transmitter and receiver and all that kind of jazz. Whatever. Okay, cool. I like that. That's awesome. Thanks, Finalmouse. Okay, you did a great job. You know what? I'll put it to you. Okay, you know how to make art look beautiful. Okay, cool box. Okay, what I like comparing it to the Ultra Superlight, like honestly, presentation for the Phantom, honestly love. And then the God series too is pretty cool, right? Now it's quality control. This is where I honestly think that this is the generation that you shouldn't be scared of. And the only reason why I say that is because my unit is 5,388, which is pretty hard to see because my camera is not in autofocus right now, out of 25,000. 5,000, yeah. So this is a very early production run of this run, and it's perfect. Like, I know that there's people who've complained about the buttons here moving side to side. Mine doesn't have a lot of that travel. That's so cool. The post click does not touch the like it doesn't bottom out to the body, which is very great. Of course, scroll wheel has been an issue for most of the mice from Finalmouse, and mine, yeah, my scroll wheel is not, you know, it's trash. So, besides the alignment being weird, the DPI buttons on this, it's supposed to be, apparently they said it's supposed to be hard. I don't mind it. Mine doesn't feel like it's gonna break, which is super, super nice. And the clicks. I think what I can't get over is that this is basically all metal except for the bottom. And I used it a little bit, and this is my complaint. If you can hold a Superlight, you can't hold a small. That's the only complaint. That's honestly, I think, the only thing that I will complain about with the Finalmouse. I used this for a few minutes, and I was already starting to feel cramps, feel the urge to hold this in a more natural way, and I ended up almost going to a fingertip grip, which I know naturally I will not grab the mouse and do. So I had to more or less really do an aggressive claw for a small, in which case I'm just going to end up buying a medium, because the quality control issues, I think, would have been solved by the Phantom or by the time that the Pegasus was released. So if you bought a Pegasus or you are waiting for a Phantom to come in, I think that you have no issues. And this was a used unit. The person used this for 3 weeks, and there is no, like, there's some flex here on the sides, which I think, honestly, I'm applying a lot of pressure for that to happen. So I think that's normal. When I'm grabbing the mouse to pick it up, that flex does not show. And for the clicks, if my buttons don't feel like they require more pressure, either on the left or the right, to get clicked in, and the mouse wheel, honestly, it's not the worst thing. I feel like the super light mouse wheel is a lot better. This is a little probably too light for me. The steps are not as, the steps are noticeable at a slow speed, but at a fast speed, it's like almost like not, the steps are not as noticeable. But what's good is that middle mouse click is really, you have to click it. You have to really click it for it to actually go down. And then the side buttons, honestly, the most beautiful thing in the world. They feel actually really fantastic. They're just the right They're just the right distance, the right feel and pressure. And this is 43 grams and it's wireless. Like, that is just fantastic. The sensor on this, I tried to do some weird slam tests and also things with because when I flick, I kind of do move the mouse up at an angle when I do go around, and I haven't been able to make this spin out yet. Maybe my sensor is just dirty now, and it's the reason why it's starting to spin out. But this final sensor that's in here, fantastic. I feel like this is the mouse for me. There's no rattles on my unit, and then when I was slamming it, none of the buttons were clicking in. Again, I feel like the weight is just perfect, and I believe that it was this generation or this release or this drop that they started to put the kill switches in this, which is just super nice. Like, I really like the way this mouse feels. So, conclusion. All right, I wanted to make sure that this video was like hella short for people who are deciding to buy between these two mice, but then they were thinking to get a small or the medium. So just know, yeah, no, definitely the small is small. Like, it's really small. So if you like the super light feel, but you want the mouse to be light, and you're worried about the quality control, I would say that, in my experience right now, the quality control issues are probably already solved by this drop, and it's worth it if you can find one where they're not really heavily sculpted in terms of the price. I know that the one seller that I bought this from, he was hella nice. He was very he was very willing to work out a price that worked for me, so it was really close to MSRP, I'd say, plus the shipping. So I'd say it's worth it to buy a Phantom, but if you have really hella big hands, this is just too small for me. So yeah, this is the mouse I'm gonna end up getting. Just note the cable that comes with this it's a little worse than it's a little worse. It's not as flexible than the 703 cable. So there's nothing else to say there. Oh, another complaint again, of course, is micro USB. I don't know why these are not USB-C. It just makes no sense. So, anyways, that's it. I'm gonna sell this because it just sucks. It's the wrong size for me. It's a little too small, but I definitely have confirmed that I like the shape. I like the feel. The everything about the mouse is amazing. I'm going to have to wait for either another drop or I'm going to be impatient and then buy. I found another one for around the same price I bought it for, but it's a medium. So I'm going to get the medium and I'm going to see how the quality control lines up for Try 2. So thanks for watching. It's been a long time. This is not really audio stuff, but I know that mice at the moment are getting really popular and big. So hopefully this video gets to the right people. Take care and be safe.